One of my friends was struggling with sleep, and I just wanted to show you what you can do or how I manage my sleep to try and get good quality sleep. Now, if you're sleeping between 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., which clocks you in at 9 hours sleep, you say, "Oh, I sleep 9 hours a day." Well, let's just say that's assuming you have 100% efficiency in your sleep conversion, should I say? So as soon as you go to 9, you clock in, you go lie down in your bed, you sleep, and then you wake up at 6, and you don't get any interrupted sleep. And I don't believe you is the simple answer to that, especially if you're just guessing. And that's because sleeping is one of those things that you can't really measure by feel, and you can do your best with time. However, you don't know your sleep efficiency score either. So, I would like to give you some advice on what I did to manage my sleep without my meds. Because if I take my meds, I'm just like, yeah, drowsy as can be, and sleep knocked out. Yeah, that's what it's designed for. And it starts with just £100 investment on a Fitbit, and I think it's actually worth it. And yes, this measuring device could be inaccurate, and it probably is inaccurate compared to all the gizmos and stuff that it will do. But my brother says a thing where it goes, "You're consistently inconsistent." So the sleep data, if I just try to improve the metrics within the sleep of the inconsistent consistent data, then I should be better than before, hopefully. And so, but while mentioning this product to my friend to try and metrify his sleep, I actually realized that there's actually some important things to mention. One, if you have this data, and I'm going to show you mine now. So here's my beautiful Fitbit. Got apparently 22,000 steps. Well, wonderful, and all that kind of stuff. And if I go to my sleep, and I tell you, you can objectively already see that I actually only got 4 hours 41 minutes. Now, first of all, you can see all my sleep here, and yes, we can judge if it's good or bad, and blah 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 blah. But essentially, the key thing to note is that first of all, there is a frame of reference. Like there's pieces of data that I'm literally sharing to you. And right now, my friend was like, "I'm getting 3 to 4 hours of sleeping," but he thought, he was basically lying to himself. Would the manager believe me? And my answer to that is, your manager will believe you. The employer has a right to look after you. And if you say these new data, where I think I only slept 4 hours, they'll take you seriously, most likely, especially if they know about mental health. I'd be very surprised if a workplace doesn't take your sleeps very seriously. So it's definitely more to do with our norms, our expectations to not seem lazy because I'm not sleeping enough. So if I say I want to sleep more, people in this day and age are like, "Oh, you're lazy." I'm like, "Fuck that. You're not lazy. You need your sleep to recover. Protein synthesis doesn't even occur. Recovery, everyone, every gym athlete, body people know that sleep is needed for recovery. Your sleep is needed not recovery for just physical stuff. It's needed for your mental stuff as well. Your brain needs to heal too. It needs to reset, and you never give you a chance to do that. But why I'm showing this data, and I thought this was quite nice, is like first of all I could share it, and then we can objectively discuss. So, for example, today I slept 4 hours and 41 minutes. Now, if I showed this data to my manager, which I have and would always like to do, he would be like, "Oh, Jinta, you haven't slept enough." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I haven't." So today could be a more irritable day. So he knows my symptoms. So days that I don't get enough sleep, I'm more irritable, I don't process information as quickly, and I think I'm working more effectively, but I don't. But at least this is an unbiased way to talk about our sleep data, instead of just me going, "I think I slept 4 hours." I know objectively that this data actually doesn't matter because, like, as you can see from here, there's a data that's missing, and actually my battery was being charged. And actually, me and my partner, when we had a nap around 3 p.m. to 6, so actually there's an extra 3 hours there that's just missing. So I know for that I don't need to take this too seriously, and I don't, I feel like I'm functioning completely fine. However, do not just trust your feelings. Your feeling is also an input. So we've got this source of truth, and this truth is here saying, "Hey, with this automatic device, I've got this piece of data that says I slept this much." Now, this data could be wrong, like in this case, but at least it's better than nothing, right? And then actually within each one, even tells you, yeah, here, I can now objectively say I woke up 4 times, so 4 peaks. And with this, I can be like, okay, so my truth says I slept 7 hours, 12 minutes, and I've woke up 4 times. And that's just, let's just say that's now. So what I did from this, okay, it's like, I would like to get this better. So I would like to increase this. The 7 hour, 12 minutes, in this case is good, because I'll tell you what my metrics are. And I would like to decrease the number of times I wake up. Now you can't control everything, so choose one. But for me to be healthy, and what I've managed for the last 2 years while managing my mental health, is I said, I want the sleep metric to be between 6 to 8. Now, you can find your beauty sweet number. I don't care what it is. I'm going to just trust the data. I don't think I'm special. I don't think I'm like the rare outlier. I just want to get some good quality sleep between 6 to 8 hours. So if I go under 6, for example, like these 2 days, I go, red flags. And I tell my partner, and I tell when I had a job, my line manager, I've had less than 6 hours sleep based on my device. Now, we could argue, especially if I had sleep here, that why this might have happened. Now, in these 2 cases, it was a very self-inflicted. There was alcohol involved and friends involved. This was actually one of the rare times where I would say not enough sleep is a good thing because I was doing other stuff. However, this was an honest view and me being transparent to my manager saying, hey, by the way, I know this trip, I slept 4 hours, but I'm not going to take a day off because it's self-inflicted or whatever. But you now take into your account your feelings or your context, if you like. I know for a fact that this one doesn't matter because in the context, I know I had a nap throughout the day. And I know I feel good. And I've slept enough. And so the truth here is wrong can be ignored. But in these cases, I know the context is alcohol and friends. And the feeling could be misleading. And the truth says I didn't have enough. It gives you more points to go on to help you improve that sleep metric. And I recommend Fitbit because I use it, but you can use whatever you want. But it's nice to know how many times. In this case, I slept 3 times. I woke up 3 times apparently for whatever random reason. And so in the truth, I try to get 6 to 8 hours, and I try to get 0 number of times I woke up. I can't control that. I try to get through 0. And then the last thing I try to do is I get a sleep score of over 80, which I don't know how to show on this app. So on your phone, if you press this, it gives you a sleep score, which I can't see from here, but essentially the sleep. Now, you could fake this data. Obviously, I can change the times like here. The whole point is you can't just base it on your feeling. So many people go, I felt this, I felt that, blah, 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 blah. Now, it's great if you want to feel stuff. It can't be your only source of reality, and that's based on my experience of mania. I felt phenomenal. I felt great. It didn't mean that it was the right thing to do. I don't feel like exercising. I don't feel like having a good diet. The context tells me that it's a good thing to do, and actually, I started exercising, as you see from the YouTube shorts, and because of Fitbit, and this is something that I didn't even know, I can actually see my resting heart rate going down. From when I started, how do I see this? Yeah, come on. Whoop, don't remove that tile, done. Essentially, from 1st of February, my resting heart rate was 71, and every day I just started to exercise, and I see my resting heart rate going really down. And these are just metrics that are really, really useful. And you just choose one. You don't have to improve every single thing. That's too much. Just choose one. And this goes back to my health trinity, where I am just trying back to help my health. And there's 3 ways to help health in my opinion. And one is sleep. So please measure that and try to figure out how you can get better sleep. And if you want a recommendation on a podcast, I recommend Andrew Humberman on his sleep recommendations. And then I had, exercise, like I just mentioned. And then that last one is diet. And, I believe that everyone could do better in one of those 3 categories. And if all your three categories of these are good, then you're gonna be 90% okay. Doesn't mean you'll be phenomenal, but you'll be okay. And yeah, I can't make this point even more clearer. I didn't realize how useful this data was, and it's that simple context that you can share this data with your friends. You can compare numbers if you want. I wouldn't recommend that for other reasons, but like at least the fact that you can share, at least you can then go, okay, maybe I can do a little bit better than yesterday. And you know what? I don't consistently wear this Fitbit. There are days like today's a great example. Today is a day where I don't delete the goal. Yeah, my goal is sleep. You can change it, see? Yeah. I'm waffling again, so I'm gonna stop now soon. So measure your sleep, and I would recommend Fitbit. This is all from the free subscription as well. You don't know. You're not trying to beat. If you're competing and you're trying to be the best performance of yourself and best athlete, yeah, fine. Start measuring every single thing and compare your results. However, you're just trying to beat yourself from yesterday, and your yesterday self. If you keep improving yourself compared to yesterday, you're gonna do better. And right now, I feel. Oh, I used the word feel. Right now, I know I'm in a better place than I was last year due to the amount of freedom I have, how healthy I am, and how much I want to move, how much I want to learn, how much I want to do more because I'm healthy. Be more transparent with your workplace and tell your line manager, especially if you're doing 3 to 4 hours. I guarantee you, people will think, like, you know what? My line manager at the time, if I went to him and said, if you slept 3 hours, what would you do? I bet you he will say, I'll call in sick. So the fact that you don't think you can do that just shows you the problem with sleep in general. And I'm saying this as a friend. Please take some time off. Like, we should get your sleep sorted. It's something that you can work on, something you can improve. And yeah, I hope you found this information useful, and maybe £100 investment just to be able to share how good your sleep is good enough, so that people can collaborate better, people can help you before. And one thing that I've learned so far is when you shout to the void and say, I want help, yeah, people do come and help you. So yeah, cool. Thanks for listening.